We have just after passing the spring equinox, and I have been gifted something that I have dreamt about and desired for a long time. I'm on a farm. I'm not going to divulge any further information at this point in time, apart from to say that here's some beds here to sort out. 1, 2, 3. There's a place for the blackberries and other bits and pieces. See what we can rescue here. This was a big open bed where I will open up this first bit here, and from there on this will be for pumpkins and squashes and maybe melons, that kind of thing, this area here, once we've got the ground reclaimed. There's lots of stuff to be moved, most of it. Here we go. There's some work to be doing, which I'll be starting today. We have a friendly farmer's dog who loves coming to live in here. So I've got to secure the tunnel first up before we can start using it. See, there's a clever idea of ventilation in the back. I'll string wires along for, there is a wire there already, but I'll string 1 or 2 more to do the up trestling of tomatoes, cucumbers and the likes. Okay, I think that's enough of a start. We're still toying with a name for this project and its associated YouTube channel, which I will do and keep going. Listen to the bird life, and yeah, I'm really excited. It's not that far from home. It's within a 10-kilometer radius, so we'll conserve as much fuel as possible, and occasionally, if we have to, think of a plan of remaining on site a bit longer. Can you see that nice little meadow there between the chickens and my tent? That may happen, but that's for the distant future. For now, let's get the show on the road. I have things to do. Was just to secure the plastic there. I see amongst all the tools I didn't bring a hammer, so I can't pull the nails out, but I've stapled it temporarily, put the 2 bricks there. I'll put in battens or something. The same thing must happen at the end wall there. You can see it wide open. So that's my very first job. But just for a quick indication of how quickly a bed can be turned around, all I did was roughly fill in the big craters and rake. I'll level it a bit more. The next step on that bed basically prepared for the next step. 2 step more. Cardboard down, which I've already sourced and will be starting to collect tomorrow, being Tuesday what is today? Tuesday the 24th. We'll get our first cardboard, hopefully to cover this whole lot. From there we mulch. We mulch 6 to 8. If I can obtain enough, some 12 inches worth would be great. Wet it down properly, then saturate wet. I should actually wet on this now, because this is, you can see the dust in the air. Lovely. Day 2. As I get here, the rain intensifies, but here I am. It's doing these beds a bit of good so that I can get rid of the top bits and pieces of junk, and then also to break them smooth so that when we get our bulk load of compost, cardboard's been arranged to lay down. Once it's level, lay down cardboard and mulch the top of the beds. Bed 1, as you see there, bed 2 right in front of me, and bed 3. I'm looking at a plan to cover the beds too, to put sort of mini shade cloth areas on top of them so that they can be protected from rain, snow, hail, chickens, dogs and other varmint, including rabbits and the likes. See, there's a brightish spot there. It tried to peep out there just now and show its face. It better be so, because the door is in serious need of repairs. I started battening up here to repair the plastics there, only to realize that as soon as I put these in, somehow this closed up. So this, I'm trying to get that out there so that I can remount it a bit lower down and put fresh battens in there to support the hinges on, because these top ones here were relatively fraught, but I have to make it the right dimensions, otherwise it won't go into the opening. So I'm going to test it now and see if this one's the right length, and then we can finish it up. Fortunately, I have the drill and a bag of screws and box of screws and all sorts of other juicinesses that are needed for repair. Day 3.
For sure.
I sawed this door in two, not in half, in two sections. I brought the circular saw stand with and some clamps, some other tools. I've basically completed repairing the door, but this door is a bit of a parallelogram, top measure exceeding by about 4 centimeters the bottom measure. So now that I've completed it, you can see it has been scraping here all along. Let me get to the scene. It's been scraping here, so I'm going to try and take that down a bit today so that it seals properly. It does close properly, but it jams a bit there. It's not sealed. So you can see I have moved the hinges up higher. That's the bottom hinge. The top hinge I've dropped, put in 2 extra braces in the door, much sturdier now. Then the next planning is to, with these 8 timbers, 4 uprights and 4 crosses, you'll see what happens when I build us a seedling station to place here, and to make use of all that's free, scored. This door is free, scored. I'm terrible for that kind of thing, always trying to repurpose, but otherwise it would cost me money, valuable money. We've had snow on the mountain way over there, the hill. So this is day 3 and some of the tasks. Oh, by the way, I brought quite a pile of cardboard with, but that's probably not even enough for this bed, or for one of the outside beds. And in this glorious sunshine, that's what we're going to do next. Do the door. So let's get going. Some days all one needs is a bit of brain power. You see there now? See the gap? Can I show you? There's the gap. All I did was loosen 2 screws, and even with the hand, you can see there, you can tap it over. So even with the hand, I've tapped it over. I'm working inside and out while the rain spits. The rain's actually coming from there. Can you see there? I don't have to put it that far back. I can put it even a little bit further. But now our door closes properly. The hinges are secured, and I'm going to put it back a little bit, drive in new longer screws, and that should hold it. See there? I'll check it outside again. Too much. Perfect right there. Drive in longer screws, and then the plate on the outside, I'll add a few screws there too. There we go, sorted. Well, this is day 4. I brought that tool with, you'll see just now why. I've also completed the first frame. It looks a little bit wonky and out of alignment, but nothing that when we screw the tabletops down on it, won't sort out. The second one is in production. Then it's going to go there. Then I have a decent surface to work on. Then you'll see what that's for. So this is day 4. So there it is. It needs a cross brace or 2. But I've run out of battery power for the drill. And letting go and higgledy-piggledy here. Lots of fun and games. So what I'm going to do now is go and sieve some of that stuff for us to put into our seedling trays or our seedling pots or whatever you want to call it, and get that ready. I have a few different seedlings here, or seeds here, different sorts of peas, beetroot and a few others, but they're old. I want to do a quick test and see if they're still viable. If they're not, then we'll just order bulk from a supplier here in Ireland of what's that stuff? Organic seeds. I don't quite know how they rate seeds as organic, but he has a great reputation for selling good stuff. So there's that then for now. Right, let's see if man's ingenuity that knows no bounds can work this one out, because yeah, the big stuff I'm trying my best to get clean. So, man's ingenuity. Thank you, Marlon, for this magnifique tool. So see, repurposing. It's always been one of my life's little pleasures. Day 5. The potting table is virtually complete. The floor is very irregular here, the soil, so I've got to sort that out a little bit, and then I can put the cross brace in at the rear there. But it's good enough for its function. It's pretty sturdy. So I have a bit of outside that stuff, horse manure, and I have sieved some in here, as you can see. I'll sieve the rest of it, then I'll make some more for us. Then I'll add compost, bagged compost in here, mix it through well and good and solid, and start filling pots there. We need to get some seeds in the pots to see how many of our, or if our seeds are still viable. Well, I have to dash home. It's Friday evening, the sun is out, the clouds have passed by. Maybe we can go and throw a bit of meat on the coals. But there's our mixed compost. I've weighted it down a bit. That and that. And we have our first seedling pots. Green. That will be, what will it be? I've written them all down. Peas, alderman peas. All them, 2 per. Orange is carrots, just a trial run. Autumn King. Purple is sweet peas, just for the crack, for the good lady. Fairy Princess. Blue is onions, white Lisbon. These are all old seeds, so let's see if we can get them to go. Double 2 orange is cauliflower from an open packet, an older one. I have a closed packet, so there's 2 tomatoes. Here we're getting into the tomatoes. Cherry, tomato, cerise, these 2. The 2 reds, tomatoes, Roma. And the 3 reds, more tomatoes, moneymaker. I had a moneymaker plant last year, and that's Baltimore. It's day number week 2. First day week 2. Let's just call it that way. I wasn't here yesterday, which was Monday. Today is the last day of the month. I don't have a lot of time, but in the black bag is rhubarb from home. I had to fight to get those rhubarb balls out. They've been established there for a number of years, and they're just encroaching on a wall there. So that blue one I cleaned out. There's another blue one below the rake and the bramble. Today's story is to clean this bank, to plant that rhubarb in there. So I have to break that soil. I sort of cleaned it up a bit. I might have to split the rhubarb, but I need to get it cleaned. Firstly, fight the brambles. It's an eternal flipping fight, brambles. I've got nicks and scratches all over me from bramble thorns, bramble spires, buyers, whatever you want to call them. Right, that part of the mission is successfully completed. Now we just give them a good drenching. We also, the root ball was so massive that I could split it in two. No wonder I fought to get it into a black, heavy duty black bag, but I got it in. So let's see how quickly this lot recovers. There's a story about this rhubarb. It was dug out in November. Somebody that was moving, and somehow it landed up in our house, at our house, and it lay outside under the outside table until about February, and I didn't think anything of just dumping it in the ground, thinking it will never take off, and it took off. And last year I think I made 2 batches of, or was it the year before, 2 batches of rhubarb wine. Not really to my liking, but when I mentioned about rhubarb to the farmer, he said bring it. He loves just standing at the plant, breaking off a stalk, cleaning it off and eating it on site. So the bank looks a little bit better. I still have to clear up all this mess. The rake broke upon me, so I will bring tools to repair the rake. It needs a proper few holes drilled into the rake rod. Anyway, so that's it. It's accomplished. This bit. Look at the bank from this side. Can be opened up a little bit more. I don't want to be destroying any natural screening, but I do want to get rid of more of the brambles along here. Oh, this is the second day of week 2, and I watered our articles again, our rhubarb, fixed the rake, did a bit of a clean-up job. I must continue there with the brambles. I must get rid of all of these brambles. I want to work over this bed. There is 2 pots that I salvaged there out of the little shed over there. The one is cracked, but I taped it internal, you can see there, so it holds together. Dahlias, singles, tubers brought from home. I've planted more seedlings today. I've closed up already, so there we go. Wetted them down too. So we have quite a number of seedlings in now. As I've said before, this is basically experimental. I brought a thermometer, and when I hung it, the sun was still fully on the tunnel. You can see it's down there to 16, 17 degrees. Yeah, so it was over 20. It was about 22, 23, which was most pleasant working in. So that's day 2. Fun and games. Yeah, I think this is day 4 of week 2. Some fun and games here. Potted some more. Tried my first seed snails. That one has got butternut in. There's a trial run with 2 butternut seeds. That one has homegrown leek, also with seeds there. Then in here, last year I bought some heirloom tomatoes from a store. So that's the red one. You can see I had them in the fridge. I conserved the. So let's see if they come up. I have yellow ones too, but that's enough for today. As you can hear outside, the buffeting Storm Dave is upon us. Right, that's it then for day 4. If you want to see what it looks like outside. And oh, by the way, the rhubarb are looking like they're getting established. They're taking now because they're not as wilted as what they were the other day. It's seriously windy, seriously rainy. I need to show you something that I've been looking at. As you can see, I think this is a roll of green shade cloth, which I'll dig out then. Looks like I don't know. And we can see if we can then maybe fix this shade cloth area up, because it looks like it needs a bit of attention. But look, if we do that, then we can potentially fix it up so that the blackbirds don't devour all the raspberries. So I've got to make my way in here then and cut all the brambles out, the blackberries or whatever you want to call them, before we can tidy up this lot. But it could be quite a quick fix, this, to just cover it over and get the blackberries or the raspberries protected. Okay, that's enough waffle for one day. When these seedlings start popping up, I need to have planting space. And then if I know these seedlings are viable, which some of them should be and will be, then I can propagate to fill this whole tunnel. Run new wires, get new twine, because this twine is shot, as you can see there. I didn't even put pressure. And get new twine, maybe put another set of wires up, or set in the center here too, or just tie off. I actually think to myself, I want to see if I can get the grenadillas to go up here, put grenadillas in pots, and see if we can get them to go in the center, because if we can use this space, otherwise this space will just be wasted. So if we can put pots here, even with other stuff along the sides, we'll plant lower hanging fruit like peppers and the likes, and then tomatoes and squashes and the likes. Right, that's enough waffle from me, but that's a good update for you of the plans, and to see if we can get things really productive in this spring and summer.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to receive notifications.
Oh well, this is day 1 of week 3 at the Polytunnel project, which I shall be calling on a separate playlist on the channel. I've decided I will stick with my main channel and just updates monthly long form videos, or every 2-week long form videos. But just to let you know what we're doing at the moment, as I say, day 1, week 3